For the 1999 British Grand Prix, Silverstone set the world record for the highest number of movements in a single day at 4,200, and many of those came from here at Turweston. And again, just a day before the lifting of restrictions, tomorrow Silverstone will host a capacity crowd of 140,000 people for the British Grand Prix. So I'm here with Chris Brown, Aerodrome Manager. Thank you very much for talking to me today, Chris.
It's my pleasure.
How many movements are you expecting this weekend?
Probably around 60 movements today. We did 80 movements yesterday, and tomorrow it will probably be in the region of 200 to 300.
How many of them are fixed wing and how many are rotary?
A majority of it will be rotary. Tomorrow we are only expecting 10 fixed wing aircraft in.
And how does that compare with previous years?
The numbers this year are very, very similar to 2019, in fact, which is actually a good sign. I guess back in the mid-80s we had more fixed wings, as I say, and we operated larger helicopters as well. There were Super Pumas and S-61s would operate out of here into Silverstone. There's none of that anymore, unfortunately. The largest thing we get is a S-76 probably now operating into the circuit.
You've described the total number of movements over the weekend. Is it in spikes?
Oh, very much so, yeah. When the people are flying in, it will be down to gaps of 3 minutes, the inbound times. During the race time, it's quiet here. It's very, very quiet.
And the helicopters that come here, what are they doing?
With the changes of the evolution of the circuit at Silverstone, they originally had masses of space to park helicopters. The circuit was updated and the infield was taken as part of the track. So they lost all the parking facilities they had. And the external part of the circuit only caters for the drop-off of passengers. So all of the operators now just drop their passengers into the circuit, and then they have to get out. We're obviously 3 miles down the road. It makes it cost effective for operators to just pop out and pop over here, and we basically become a heliport car parking area for the weekend. I mean, it's a pretty impressive sight when you see our 2 grass runways here at Turweston absolutely covered in helicopters from one end to the other.
So down on those 2 runways, how many aircraft would that be?
I would say that we probably, on a good day, we would have got 70 to 80 helicopters parked up. We have a great marshalling team who position them all, and it just looks really, really impressive to see. A lot of heavy metal.
That creates a lot of extra workload. What are your major pain points?
Financially, obviously, it's a big outlay. I mean, we pull in extra staff. The staff have been coming for years, so they're used to and very professional at doing the jobs that need to be done for the weekend, but it's a cost. The reason it works is that there's the pre-planning that goes ahead of the event. The airfield is completely modified to the way it operates on a day-to-day basis. We split it into 2 paths. So we have a northern side, which is basically from the northern edge of the grass 2709 runway, and a southern side. The southern side is used specifically for helicopters coming into park. On the northern sector, which operates the normal fixed wing circuit, we will have any fixed wing traffic that's coming in, helicopters that are coming in to drop off passengers via one of the drop-off points, and also our rotors running refuel department is situated out in the middle of the grass on the far side of the runway, and we offer the F1 service of rotors running really in the UK. November Sierra, Roger, good to lift via East Gate, and the service wind 070 degrees 10 knots.
Let's copy the wind, go for November Sierra.
Obviously we're air ground, we can't tell people what to do. So our procedures are well known and they have been developed over a number of years, from the original days when it was a full air traffic control service for the Grand Prix until what we use today.
How well behaved are the pilots?
These guys are the elite of the industry. They are really professional, and it's a pleasure to work with them.
How is your relationship with your neighbours?
The relationship with the neighbours over the weekend is generally very good. The Silverstone event brings an awful lot of money into the local economy, so it's actually, you know, everyone sort of says, okay, let them get on with it, we'll do it.
I notice a lot of buses, so it's not just helicopter movements.
No, about 3 years ago we started working with Silverstone circuits themselves with a park and ride bus service from the airfield using the main roads straight to the circuit. Today we've got, I believe it's 51 buses operating out of here on a continual turnaround to and from the circuit.
Silverstone run the buses, but you provide the land to them.
Yeah,
for it.
exactly that. We provide them land and access to and from the local road system so that they can get across.
And how important to Turweston is the Grand Prix weekend?
Yes, it is important, and it does bring a good chunk of money into the airfield, which, you know, we all work in the industry. This industry is vastly hit by weather, unfortunately, so it just makes up for those days when there is nothing going on. I have to say that I think the general aviation industry will come out of the other side of this pandemic very, very well. I think a lot of people have turned to GA to travel because they don't want to travel with numbers. So the industry, I think, will survive and prosper in the future.
Thank you again, Chris. Best of luck for the rest of the weekend.
Thank you. Fingers crossed.